Please explain how such a large starting number 1 billion can 10x or 100x. I know liquidity plays a large part. Can you explain it as if there was a 1 mil sacrificed and 100k liquidity? Well, the way I look at it is the more, it's not always the case, but the more money, usually the more people involved as well. And so if you would have gotten less money, you have less people initially there at the start. And so there's less people interested in it. And so there's less network effect of onboarding more people. So you could look at it as like, wow, we have such a bigger ball to start with to accumulate more users, which can be good for price. And then there's also, like you said, a liquidity is super actually the issue because like most liquidity is not actually in the market ever. Most of it is sitting in people's wallets and they don't enter the market until they feel that it's worth selling or worth buying. They're not going to enter the market. And so whenever you look at HEX, for instance, it's rather low liquidity for how high the market cap is. And you would miss out on it initially because you'd think, oh, it's high market cap, it's gonna be hard to move the price. But really it's way easier to move the price of HEX in this example in that market cap range than probably other things because our liquidity pool is so low. What matters is actually market supply, not market cap. It's how much is actually available for purchase. And with HEX, it's just built in a way where most people aren't providing liquidity. They aren't just holding it ready to sell. They actually stake it because they can earn yield trustlessly without actually risking anything, other than smart contract risk and stuff, which we've seen it's been working flawlessly for, I think it's 1,000 or is it almost 1,100 days? It's like 1,094. I don't think it hinders it. It may cause it to be more volatile, but yeah, I don't think it puts like a cap on like, oh, we can't go higher. Oh man, because also yeah, it's like if only $1 went in and you got all the coins, well then you can try and convince other people that it's worth a good buy. But if you have thousands of people, like 50,000 people who got in, that's 50,000 times more people trying to get the word out about something that's super cool and super valuable. So I think there's like a give and take. It's like, hey, wouldn't it be great if there was thousands of people, but I put in way more than everybody else and everybody else got like almost nothing. Like, yeah, that'd be ideal scenario where you just own a bunch of it and everyone else just has a little bit or whatever. But a lot of people just put in a lot of money because they're hopeful. But it all depends on how people get shaken out of the market. People could buy tons and tons of Bitcoin back in the day when it was $1, but not many did. Would 200k of usage have to come in to get a 2x? There's a whole game of liquidity providing where they're happy to take both sides because they're making fees in between a range where they believe it's going to be for a while. And so whenever it fluctuates up and down through their range, they're making money, making money, making money. And when they withdraw, they have more money plus their original stuff if they're doing it well. And so you don't always have to have like, oh, we need all this, like where are we going to get the people willing to come and put money into this? There's big whales in this game. I think just today there was a whale alert that in the top 500 ETH whale addresses, one of the top 10 coins being purchased today was HEX. Liquidity providing and stuff is mostly a whale game, and I don't think you have to worry about, oh, too much money has been sacrificed, it can't multiply. Just trying to understand, as usually if the market cap doubles, we get a 2x. Yeah, market cap is just tracking the last traded price times the supply. It's not really, yeah. I'm pretty sure there was like thousands and thousands of Ethereum that went into HEX at the beginning. So I think it was just at a lower dollar point, technically, because Ethereum was way cheaper back then too. Plus it was less known. So there was much less knowability about it. And we're still gonna have to see how it plays out. I think it's great that there was a huge amount of sacrifice. I don't think it's a bad thing. There's just way more people involved, so there's gonna be a lot more people told about it, and people are gonna be like, "Wow, I want more of this stuff." Is how I see it. I don't like being a constant buyer of good stuff is how you win. Like you don't being a oh, I'm going to sell it at 2x is not how you win in crypto. You know, it's easy to find a 2x, and just because there's lots of money in there, it doesn't mean all that money is going to be in the liquidity pool. Hard to move the price up. If people in pulsex are just like, I'm not selling this stuff. Like if 99% of people are like, I'm not selling it till it's 10,000x, then guess what? Next buyer has to buy it at basically 10,000x. That could happen day one. So obviously there's a spectrum of like, oh, I'll sell it at a 10x, I'll sell it at 100x, and that's how you see people come into the market. It's all up to market participants. So if you have a bunch of people who are happy to sell it at 2x at the start, then you'll get lots of selling around that level. And it probably is that, because 2x can, if it's on a large amount. Well, the thing is, like, people with a large amount probably aren't selling at 2x. People with like $100 sacrifice and it goes up 10x, they're probably selling it all. You know, that's just how it is. Little plebs usually sell early. Usually it's because they have to, or they just can't. They just can't be patient. You know. Another reason to hurry up and launch true DeFi DEX called pulsex. Dude, I'm so excited for pulsex. Normia is a good password manager too. I don't use that one. I use I think Bitwarden is good. I could use the Nord one because I'm already using Nord anyway, but I don't know, I don't feel like transferring stuff. Is that sugar water? It's not sugar water. Oh, in my hair. Big ups K4K. Change my RPC per your little bit. Nice. Enjoy the never paying failed transaction fees. Yeah, if you want to be sad about your past trades and fees you've paid, go to fees.wtf. Hopefully that hasn't become a scam site, so don't click on anything on it. You can connect your wallet and it'll tell you how many fees you've paid on that address, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, wrecked. What percent do you stake versus hold liquid? I'm not going to tell you what I do exactly, but I mean, unless you're like planning to sell, there's really no reason to keep any liquid. You could have a rolling, maybe monthly stake. It depends how big your thing is, but it's like, I think building a proper 15-year ladder, one for each year, and then as the first year comes up, you put that whatever you want to sell, you sell. The rest you put out 15 years again. Then as the next year comes up, it's a 2-year stake. So you're getting a bit more yield, and then you roll that one out 15 years. And then as the next year comes, you get a bit more yield from a 3-year one instead of, because if you were to just do a 1 year and then it ends, and then you do 1 year and then it ends, and you keep just doing one, you're always going to have these like pitiful, less APY gains. You'll probably still get crazy USD gains, not financial advice, but you're going to be getting less of that pie of the inflation if you're just doing these shorter stakes. So to save yourself from having that issue or having the risk of, oh no, I'm in a crunch, I might have to emergency unstake and all I have is a 15-year stake, it's best to have that ladder so that you always have some coming out on a good schedule. And then eventually after 15 years, you actually have only 15-year stakes coming out every year forever. And so that is the best way, in my mind, to use the HEX system.